Testing. Good morning. My name is Cam Scales, and my pronouns are she and her. On behalf of this congregation, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the native tribes. Whether you have joined us online or are here in our sanctuary, we're very glad to have you with us as we choose, in this time we choose to be together. We are an open community of learning, caring, and justice making. You are welcome here, every part of you, just the way you are. Our congregation is served by our minister, the Reverend Jamie Dingus. She is available by contacting the office for pastoral care and to answer questions about Unitarian Universalism. If you are a newcomer, please sign the guest book in the foyer out there to receive our weekly email newsletter. Please also take a moment to silence your electronic devices. If you have a joy, sorrow, or important milestone that you would like shared during our Circle of Candles and included in the pastoral prayer, please write it on one of these white cards that you'll find in the pew in front of you. You can place these in the offering basket. For community news and events, check our email newsletter, website, and the paper insert in your order of service. A couple of additional announcements. A reminder that after the service today, all are welcome to stay for our potluck. We also have a blood drive and a voter registration going on, as well as summer water fun for the kids, a total extravaganza. Also, on this and every Sunday in the next month, we share our offering plate with a nonprofit organization that lives our UU values out in the community. This quarter, our offering is shared with Habitat for Humanity of the River Valley. Habitat partners with the families in our community, making a pathway to home ownership and financial stability. Please, if you have not made plans already, stay for our potluck. There's always enough food. That's the definition of a potluck, right? And if you can't stay for lunch, join us for coffee and refreshments after the service there in the fellowship hall. And now I would like to invite Taylor DeLacy to ring the singing bowl to help us enter into the service more deeply. Finally, having gathered in a shared quest for truth, meaning, and purpose, let us light our chalice with these words from Andrew Pakula. Let there be light, the light of joy, the light of happiness, the light of contentment. May it illuminate our paths and fill our lives with peace. And let there be dark. For it is from our dark places that we are brought forward, tried, and tested, and impelled toward growth. It is in these places that we realize compassion and learn to love. And there was day, and there was night, and there was joy, and there was sorrow, and it was good. And now let us enter into this morning's service more deeply with music for sharing or centering, followed by our thread song, which can be found in your order of service.
I may be a little wobbly this morning. I'm a ghost returning to the scenes of earlier crimes. I got old, and some other people looks like they got old. And I just don't know how many lives I've lived yet, so we can talk about that. I'm so proud of this place. I was honored and blessed with 2 sons. My baby boy, Adam, died in January at 45 of a massive heart attack that I had similar after I left here in 2001. I got a heart transplant, and it's over 14 years old. June the 21st, 2010, I got a heart transplant. I came to this congregation to be an extension minister up on the mountain. How many of you know the mountain? How many of you have never been in the mountain? Okay. That's, it's sort of like looking at a family in my hometown of Fayetteville and going, I think I know these people. I think I know this place. But I'm so proud of this place. It's a bastion. I call it an oasis. I'm fortunate enough to be able to still preach. I have a congregation in Newton, New Jersey that was built in 1927 for the Ku Klux Klan Club. I walked by the plaque in Pulaski, Tennessee yesterday that I walked past when I went to Martin College going downtown to Pulaski, that the fellow had to turn the plaque around because everybody was stealing it where the Ku Klux Klan was founded. The cycles just make me crazy, and I'm glad to be here to celebrate this day. Thank you for having me, and we'll talk more. The rituals we're going through, I've watched develop in the 50 years of ministry. When I first came here on the mountain, the first 2 or 3 years was a bloodbath about what we were going to be. It was transitioning from an old fellowship where we were the radicals and outlaws in town, your predecessors. And I was the first minister for a while. Well, that's not true. Anyway, I did well, and we grew. And your predecessors asked me to come back. So I served here 15 years. And I got old and gray, and I got sick, and I messed up my job here with you. And I was fortunate enough to live again. I've decided I've had about 6 lives, and I've got to write them down, so one of these days. In this place, we seek the truth that guides our life. We seek the ideas that we have to recognize, that we have to reckon with. Welcome to this place. Okay, now we're going to do the chalice lighting. All right, we're going to do them. We're going to sing. Okay, let's sing.
And we'll sing number 34.
gain, though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not begin by love within, the prophet soon turns and strangely said, come, Spirit, come, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are freed. What a beautiful song. After our first hymn, we sing our doxology, which is on words of which are on the blue card in both English and Spanish, followed by reading our words of aspiration together. And when we do the words, we turn in toward the aisle and catch eyes with people across the way. So our doxology. May love be the spirit of this church. May the quest for truth be its sacrament, and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration. Thank you.
All right, we know what time it is, story for all ages. So for those of you who are ready, come on up. You're never too old. Never too old. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Warrington. My pronouns are she and her, and I am the Director of Religious Education here at UUCH, and I wanted everyone to give a warm welcome to Miss Jess. Woohoo! She did not want me to introduce her, and I think it's because she was avoiding the fanfare. But I wanted to introduce her. She is going to be our new oncoming DRE, and she is going to be doing the story today, so I'll turn it over to her.
Hello all. Let's see if I can make that point at me. Okay.
Only a few inches, like uncomfortably so.
Okay. Today I'm going to be reading the book Pride, A Story of Harvey Milk and the Rainbow Flag. It's written by Rob Sanders and illustrated by Steven Selnero. You have to give them hope. Hope for a better world, hope for a better tomorrow. Harvey Milk was an ordinary man, but he had an extraordinary dream, a dream that would change history. He dreamed that everyone, even gay people, would have equality. He dreamed that he and his friends would be treated like everyone else. He dreamed that one day people would be able to live and love as they pleased. With his New York accent, Harvey talked to everyone about his dream. The voice boomed, his body bounced with energy and excitement. Some people listened, a few people agreed, most did not. But Harvey's big voice and his big dream wouldn't be stopped. He discovered that the best way to change laws was to help make laws. In 1977, Harvey Milk took a big step toward the dream when he became one of the first openly gay people to be elected into political office in the United States. A symbol, he thought. We need a symbol that shows what we are and how we feel. Something to carry during the march, something to make people feel they're part of a community, something to give people hope, something extraordinary. Harvey knew an artist who could help, Gilbert Baker. Harvey asked, and Gilbert said, "We need a flag." Volunteers arrived to help Gilbert design and come to life. They dipped fabric in large barrels filled with vivid, vibrant dyes. They cut and pieced and sewed until Harvey, Gilbert, and the other activists had a flag with 8 colorful stripes, a flag that Harvey hoped would give hope. Rights are won only by those who make their voices heard. On June 25th, 1978, when it was time for the march, a breeze stirred in San Francisco. The flag unfurled. The wind blew. The flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. A rainbow as bright and unique as the men and women who walked behind it led the march. Harvey and the people asked for equality. They asked to be treated like everyone else. They asked to live and love as they pleased. They hoped the march would make a difference. Harvey was proud of the flag and proud of himself. He hoped others could be proud too. 5 months later, on the morning of November 27th, 1978, Harvey and the mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, were assassinated. Their lives were taken by a man who did not think like Harvey or feel like him or love like him. The flag did not fly on that dark, sad night. Instead, thousands and thousands of people marched silently carrying candles. The candlelight wove through the streets of San Francisco, up and down the hills and around the city buildings. A mile of glowing candlelight to honor the 2 lives lost. That could have been the end of Harvey's dream of the colorful flag, but it wasn't. More rainbow flags were created. Some of the colors changed. 8 stripes became 6 stripes. It was a flag of equality. The meaning did not change. More and more people began to think of the flag as their flag. They began to feel pride. They began to have hope. In 1994, Gilbert Baker designed another rainbow flag. This one was larger than all the rest. Women and men side by side carried the flag proud, a mile-long rainbow floating through the New York City. A flag wove through the streets, up and down avenues and boulevards, and around city buildings. The people demanded equality. They demanded to be treated like everyone else. They demanded to live and love as they pleased. They were proud. They had hope. They would make a difference. I asked for the movement to continue, for the movement to grow. More rainbow flags were made. Some were printed on bumper stickers and T-shirts. Others were hosted onto lampposts on Housestead Street in Chicago. One was hung in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Soon, the rainbow flag was flying in other countries, like Brazil, England, Israel, Russia, Singapore, and Turkey. The rainbow flag now unfurled on farms, in suburbs, and in cities. The flag flew proudly outside public buildings, hotels, shops, restaurants, churches, and homes. And once, on June 26, 2015, the White House was awash with the colors of the rainbow flag. I remember that. Equality, pride, hope, love, Harvey's dream became a flag for us all. So Harvey and Gilbert created a symbol of hope and joy. So what do we do to create hope and joy? Yes. Oh, being in the country, like in nature, that sounds a really good way to make joy. Okay, so do y'all want to come and join me in the RE wing? Sorry.
We are the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville, a proudly inclusive spiritual community. Together, we build a broader search for meaning, a bolder form of compassion, and a braver voice for justice. If you would like to support us with a monetary contribution, we would be very grateful. Your generosity helps us to keep the utilities on, maintain our buildings and grounds, run our various ministries, pay our staff a fair wage, and support organizations that share our UU values. You may donate using the QR code on your order of service, or you may put cash or check donations in the offering baskets. Completed Circle of Candles cards like these should also be placed in the offering baskets at this time. You are also invited to come forward during this time and quietly drop a stone into the bowl of water here next to the ramp in honor or memory of what you hold in your heart. It is through your generosity that we continue to serve our mission here at UUCH. With gratitude, we now receive the offering.
this is such great fun to participate and try to blend in with this. And it's wonderful because over the years, we've developed into different rituals. And at once upon a time, your minister had to do like a 30-minute sermon. I never could do 30 minutes, I don't think. And I thought that was awfully boring. Now we have pieces that celebrate and honor the fact that we're a community. And there are many voices. And some are silent, so we write. And some are, I think, differently abled. And I'm starting to become differently abled. And it's okay. It's okay. And that's what Unitarian Universalism says to the world. It's okay. Okay, now I'm going to read these and somebody's going to do something. Right? Okay. It was simple once upon a time. Kim Eastel has a sorrow for the second anniversary of the passing of my little sister, Joanna. Jess Zelaya? I'm sorry, my name is Doak, so I've had to live with that all my life. Doak and, do it. So I have sympathy with all people who have special names. I'm also happy to be starting by serving as the new director of religious education. She was just here. Okay, got it. Susie DeLacy has a joy. I now have 2 UAH students. Chargers, right? What a joy to watch them and be so excited that Taylor will be joining her on campus. Their relationship is so precious. Yes. Iris, please keep my daughter Lindsay in your thoughts as she deals with a challenging time right now. And Kathy Fisher, my dearest friend in Huntsville, asks for prayers and good wishes as she continues to battle C. diff infection. She acquired in May. None of the antibiotics have been effective, including the very expensive one designed specifically for C. diff. She has a new doctor now, though, and is hoping to go back to work soon. Someone called me intrepid in Britain, and there are a bunch of intrepids around here. And Kathy is one of the special ones, too. I saw an old one down here a while ago, a white-headed fellow. That's a dear brother. Okay. Did I get them all? No. Bridget Demore, okay. Please send loving prayers and good wishes to Leanne Edwards, who is home today of a condition for out of consideration for the congregation. She has been exposed to COVID from her brother Tyler. Healing prayers to Leanne and to Tyler and all others suffering COVID. That sucker won't go away, will it? Grayson Perry, Joy, I started kindergarten this week and made 3 friends. All right. Don't mess around, boy. That's a great girl, whatever we got.
Our meditation on breathing, number 1009 in the teal hymnal. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I
I think I have dyslexia, or that's my excuse. One of the crude things that ministers sometimes do are write books that they think is wise. I have done that too. The Kingdom Option is my attempt at amateur Tennessee, whatever I am, philosophy. So I commend it to you. It's available on Amazon. It's a little pricey, but that's the way they do things. And we've got a review coming out in the Universalist Herald, which is a magazine that goes back to the 1840s, founded down in Alabama, and now published about quarterly. And my first cartoon will be there this next issue, and a fellow did a review of it and says it's pretty good. So I'm pretty proud, as Mother would say. I wrote this a while back, trying to express my spiritual journey. I grew up in Methodism in in Lincoln County, Taft. I went by the church. It's been preserved, sort of, and went to Martin College, struck out from Martin College to teach and was a failure for a year or two. Got a job at Martin College and recruited 300 students 2 years in a row, and somehow got this call to be a preacher, minister. That had been all around me as a kid. Aunts and uncles and all that good stuff that were real active in the United Methodist Church. That was the legacy of the frontier. The Methodists were usually the most liberal in rural Tennessee and Alabama. Well, Episcopalian Presbyterians, but they had more money. Wasn't too many of them. The Methodists were a little bit more broad. And John Wesley wasn't a bad dude. He said some great stuff. So anyway, I've come a long way. I never was an embittered humanist, but I'm a humanist. I was always an agnostic, not an atheist, because atheists are certain. I'm never certain. I'm hoping. That's what faith is. Going on to try to find out what life is about. I buried my son. I buried my wife. And I've had too many bouts of thinking I'm going to die to be, sort of cavalier about that question of the hereafter. So I think I'm pretty much a naturalist. I love that we're talking about the people who lived here before. In New Jersey, they're the Lenape, the Delaware. And those hills and those valleys and those bottoms grew corn and maize and hemp, and it was a rich area. So I wrote this, sort of my progress. I have become more comfortable with God references, yet I must be an agnostic. Absolutes are unnatural and irrational, all based on a mindset, a base, like a math set of sets. God is not a noun. For me, he's not a personal, meddlesome object. Think Sistine Chapel with the picture of Jehovah and Adam. If you look close at that picture, God's finger is straight, trying to get to, and Adam is like this. And I'm going, how many years ago was that? And an artist drew it and painted it to satisfy the religious community? Pretty cool stuff. The holy seeks us out. In the cotton fields up here that are now Walmarts, and that river down there that was able to send those rockets to go to the moon, it's just an interesting thing. God, rather, is a verb. God is energy, the life force, the great spirit of the earth religions that functions as a process, changing all but retaining all. It's the wonder of being and becoming. and we can contribute, participate in a salvation and a redemption to survival, health, being. My baby boy gave 4 organs and saved 4 lives because he saw Daddy get an African-American woman's heart right before I was going to die. And his love goes on. And you, each of us, have an opportunity to send it on down the line, to play it forward. That's enough. Now, Tim, do your stuff.
I had told Lori sometime this summer I'd like to do this song, and it just happened to be today. But, you know, I mean, even though I don't know if the subject fits in with what Doak is telling us or not, but it is something to do with finding our way through life, right? And also, I know how much Doak loves the Spanish language. So, anyway, Volley Perry, you can give me tell me how I did on this. By the way, the composer of this song is Violeta Parra. There's an A left off of her name in the order of service. Parra. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio 2 luceros que cuando los abro, perfecto distingo lo negro del blanco, en alto cielo su fondo estrellado, en las multitudes la mujer que yo amo. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el oído que en todo su ancho graba noche y día, grillos y canarios, martillos, turbinas, lábridos, chubascos y la voz tan tierna de mi bien amado. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el sonido y el abecedario, con las palabras que pienso y declaro, madre, amigo, hermano, y luz alumbrando, y la ruta del alma del que estoy amando. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la marcha de mis pies cansados, con ellos anduve ciudades y charcos, playas y desiertos, montañas y llanos, la casa tuya, tu calle y tu patio. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio al corazón, que agita su marco cuando miro el fruto del cerebro humano, cuando miro al bueno tan lejos del malo, cuando miro al fondo de tus ojos claros. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la risa y me ha dado el llanto. Así yo distingo dicha de quebranto, los dos materiales que forman mi canto y el canto de ustedes, que es mi mismo canto, y el cante de todos, que es mi propio canto. Gracias a la vida. Thank you.
I hope y'all don't have anything to do this afternoon. I know, but I got about 4 hours of lecture here today. Trying to figure out what to talk about. Memories. Left Cincinnati, Ohio, and my young sons and my broken marriage. Stopped in Ardmore with my old Chevy and cried because I knew where Huntsville was because I grew up, you know. We came to Huntsville for big dates in the 60s. There was a Shoney's there at the mall, the old mall, and that was the place that we went to. So I came to Huntsville, Alabama by myself after a marriage that had been good, beautiful boys, and we make poor choices. I'm sure none of you have ever made a poor choice. But I came and made something of a success here on the mountain. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Went through AIDS, went through homelessness, went through the Huntsville Stars, went through Joe Davis. See, all of this, to most of you, doesn't mean anything. But Huntsville, Alabama has been a star since Tallulah Bankhead's daddy told FDR where they were going to build the atomic bomb, I think, or at least the rockets, here at this old arsenal out here that made munitions for World War I. So Huntsville has been a place of renown. The first Constitution of Alabama had liberal provisions for women beyond anyone's imagination, the first Constitution. Slavery drove this economy. Driving through A&M this morning at dark 30, I thought to myself, H.C. Handy taught here. And Huntsville had black legislators in the had city councilmen to the 1890s. Jim Crow was slow to get above the river. And I used to say in my smart aleck fashion, Tennessee really should go to the Tennessee River. because this section of North Alabama has got a different culture. Who knows Sonny Hereford? Sonny was a member of my church and a dear friend, and he told me the story of he and his daddy integrating Huntsville schools. You see the picture, I hope. So I'm a fossil and I'm a part of history. And I was a bit player, blessed be. And those deaths at Huntsville Hospital from AIDS, I don't know how I made it through. And then working for hospice as the first chaplain here for the volunteer hospice, I went out to these backwoods roads with these poor country folk like me and helped them go to heaven or hell. I don't know. Don't matter. So we live in changing times. We either adapt and learn and broaden our hearts and minds, or we atrophy and get to be old, mean, crackety people with big trucks, big cars, big houses. And I go by my daddy and mama's place, my sister. I'm the roamer. I went out to the world. Sister stayed home, tended mama, visited with me. And I had 15 years of going back and forward to seeing her. We raised tomatoes. I went through a hellacious marriage. I have nightmares about that still. But I had gifts from it. There have always been blessings, and we've always had blessings. It's an attitude we bring to the situation. And I look at many faces in this crowd, amazed to me that there are that many here that was here with me, going, what have we become? Tell me your story. Tell me about your grandkids. I'll throw mine in. I got all teenage grandkids. I ain't going to have no great grandbabies unless I live to be 90, which I'm going to do. So, Unitarian Universalism, this oasis, this light, through all the bad times, back in integration. Up on the hill they came, and they came down to Twickenham, to where they met there. And they talked about racial justice, and they talked about free sex, and they smoked too much marijuana. But they made it through. And they said to the world, we're here, and you renegades, you mongrels, you come on up, said by me. The world needs our leveling. The world needs our voice. The world needs our objections. I'm falling in love with British and Irish and Scottish Unitarianism. They were the dissenters. Hold on to that word. You dissent from the tyranny of religious imperialism, or the emperor or the king or the queen. I'm an independent person. I can choose who I covenant with, who I relate to, and we can establish a commonwealth where everybody's equal. There is only one deviancy, and that's hate. That's hate. You work on your philosophy, and you take home that homework. What can you imagine that really impacts you other than your own manifestation of distrust and hate? I went to Hardee's at 5 Points this morning at old dark 30, and I was scared to go in. So I found a Panera's, which was safer because I go to Panera. It's the new country store of America. And it's from St. Louis, not Seattle. I was near Seattle. I was in Washington State. I've been there, done that. Sound like Trump, don't I? Narcissism. Sorry. I can say that here. Hope my sister's not watching. But she knows I love her, and she loves me. I congratulate you on your achievements. This building and doing this is like crazy and wonderful. And I could try to name names of people I miss. Bill Wilson and that mosaic. Forget the fellow's name who carved that. We hung it from the ceiling up in the barn. So what are we going to do with the reality we're living in? We do the best we can. My man John Wesley, he's a hoot too. He said, save all you can, give all you can, make all you can, something like that. The way to deal in the world of craziness is to not be frightened or feared of the craziness. To breathe, walk, eat well, and maybe. I have no illusions that a God in the sky said, Doak, you're going to keep going. Science. I need to go to Las Vegas, and that will correct my arrogance. I don't gamble. I can't gamble. I'm too cheap. I'm 26% Scottish, 14% Irish, 14% Welsh, 5% Swedish or Danish, Vikings. The rest of it is like 40-something%, just British Isles. I'm so white, it's silly. But my heart is an African-American woman's heart. 32 years old. We've been traveling together for 14 years. And I bless her and bless her family and their generosity. The only thing that sustains us is generosity. Only thing that sustains us. And if I sound like an old know-it-all man, I just know what I know. And you know what you know. And we visit and tell stories. We visit and tell stories. And we have, as Unitarian Universalists, a brilliant story of descent from the time Jesus walked around. Because the emperor and the men decided that women were evil because they had babies and had too much power. Chalice and the Blade. If you have not read it, read it. But today we're getting to a point that everybody sits at the table. Make the table longer. Don't limit. And as best as we can, we portray that in our being and our becoming in our organizations. And my congregations are sweet. I've got one in Western Connecticut and one in Northern New Jersey. And I've become a Methodist circuit rider again. I go 2 weeks. Live in Newton, New Jersey. It's a beautiful little town. A village. Don't have the traffic problems here, but we got traffic problems. And all the vegetables and fruit you could think of. New Jersey is the Garden State. Somebody had to feed New York. And my ancestors in those hills up there, they did it with a flair. None of the old shacks in Lincoln County up there. These are all substantial. And there was no slave labor. So, Now, okay. I really would like to be a teacher and have questions and answers, but I can't do that. So let's stop here. No, I want to do one more thing. My notes. I do believe that all reality is a unit. This thing of he, she, me, they, all this good stuff, that's good. I just can't remember it because I've been boringly cis all my life. But I had 2 men hit on me one time. And I thanked them because I didn't. So my vanity can get away from me sometimes. We're brought into a relationship with life, and we learn as we go. We adapt. I was left-handed, naturally. Miss Mary Taylor at Camargo School outside of Fayetteville, she looked like olive oil. She had the shoes, too. And she lived in that little village there, Camargo, most of her life and taught generations of people. But she came to me, Doak, so small for my size. Mother had starched my blue jeans because she did that kind of stuff. And I was trying to write, you know. And she said, Doug, just turn your paper. Mary Taylor, Camargo School, our President Obama, he does this. I don't. Miss Mary should have had him in class. But it makes it awkward. I'll quit now, and I want to thank you for being here. And love is what will rescue us, and love is what will motivate us. And it's not saccharin, boys and girls. It's the toughest thing you'll ever do. And y'all know that. Amen.
Start the last hymn. Let me just comment to Doak, basically. There's a song that I wish, actually, in retrospect, I should have tried to do. I've never performed it. But Bonnie Raitt, many of us know who Bonnie Raitt is, and many of us know that last year she got a Grammy for writing a song, and she had never gotten one for writing a song before. This song will just make you cry because it's about somebody who had somebody come to their door and tell them, I have the heart of your loved one. And it's the greatest and the most touching song ever. And that, of course, I wish in retrospect we could have done that. Okay, we're going to do some more Spanish. It's De Colores. De Colores. And we're going to sing all 4 verses, including the Spanish verse. And then after we sing the Spanish verse, we're going to sing that tag with the piano. The piano plays a tag in between all the verses, so you'll know the tag by then. We're going to sing that tag in English to end the piece, okay? So again, stand as you are able and so inspired, and we shall sing De Colores. All the colors, yes, the colors we see in the springtime with all of its flowers. All the colors, when the sunlight shines out through a rift in the cloud and it showers. All the colors, as the thunder when the storm cloud is touched by the sun. All the colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. All the colors, yes, the colors of people parading on by with their banners. All the colors, yes, the colors of pennants and streamers and plumes and bandanas. All the colors, yes, the colors of people now taking their place in the sun. All the colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. All the colors, yes, the black and the white and the red and the brown and the yellow. All the colors, the colors of people who smile and shake hands and say hello. All the colors, yes, the colors of people who know that their freedom is won. All the colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. Here we go. De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De colores, De colores son los pajaritos que vienen de afuera. De colores es el arco iris que vemos lucir. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores gustan a mí. All the colors abound for the whole world around and for everyone under the sun. Okay.
Let us now take a moment to extinguish our chalice with these words by an unknown author. Never blame anyone in your life. Good people give you happiness. Bad people give you experience. Worst people give you a lesson. And the best people give you memories.
Amen. Yes. Wonder. I had an overlay in Paris because I missed a flight from London home, and I picked me up a Rosetta, the tricolor. You know the motto of France, right? Okay, see if I can do it right. It's freedom, liberté, equalité, fraternité. Freedom, community, justice, I think. The French did it right with a lot of blood. We did it sort of conservatively, the revolution. I don't believe in blood. I don't. I served as an Army chaplain in the reserve because I didn't have to go to Vietnam. I was fortunate. But that's what it's about. Liberty, equality, fraternity. Be blessed. We're done.
Let's sing our going out piece. Be Thou With Us, number 1039 in the Teal Hymnal.